Alrighty, hello everyone, welcome to Sinful Gaming. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, hope you're all fighting that war against the grey. I hope the sound is all right for anyone watching us at the moment. If the sound is okay, let us know down in the comments. All right, sounds all good to me on my end. So yeah, we have the Warhammer Not 40k reveal stream tonight. We're gonna watch along with all of that as it happens. I'm pretty excited because I fully expect to see my cities of Sigmar get some love. But in the meantime, we've got a bit of hobby to do. And yeah, hopefully see you all here joining and watching along with us. And so, what hobby has everyone been getting up to? We are into the energy drinks because it is extremely late. Well, not extremely. It's getting late here. It is currently 9:30 p.m. But I am currently still working on my Leviathan Tyranids. They sort of got pushed back due to illness. But we've got the Leviathan Tyranids here to paint up. Got the barb. Currently got the kitten base coat to go on the barb gaunts and the neurogaunts, a couple of the barb gaunts. Space Marines are pretty much done. I need to go do a few things to finish. Got a couple of bits and pieces to finish on them, but I would say they're like 90% done for me, the Space Marines. We did just finally get around to recording our first game of Warhammer 40k for the new edition, which I'm really excited to show off. And apologies, we are inside because the wife is out tonight. So I'm on the inside. Stop checking, there's nothing. I'm inside, so I've got to watch the kiddies. They've just gone to sleep for me. So if I do have to get up for the kiddies at some point, I apologize, but they should be pretty good. Just going down to sleep. So. So I'm going to finish these couple of barb gaunts. I got like a big brush to just do the base of the chitin, and now I'm just going to do a little touch-ups around the edges. And I will have to go over a second coat of the color I've got here for the base coat of the chitin on. I've still got to do the second layer, which is just a quick little reapply. Another thin down layer of the chitin, but I do have to apply that to the neurogaunts, barb gaunts, Von Ryan's leapers, and the prime and rippers. But other than that, yeah, we're not really here to talk about 40k. It's unfortunate. I've got a 40k project I need to finish while we're going on the not 40k. Was tempted to crack out Age of Sigmar, but I've currently got like too many things open on the painting desk, and that need to get too many projects that are near completion that I just want to get these done. So we're doing some 40k tonight. But yeah, I've been really enjoying new 40k. I'm quite excited to see what we're going to see for all the new games. All the not 40k. I did my predictions video. I think some things are sort of probably locked in what we're going to see. I would say Age of Sigmar is going to be cities, probably. I don't know if we'll see the whole range of cities in this. I think maybe what we'll see is maybe another cities unit or two, and we'll probably see a launch box for cities. That makes sense to me. And I think we'll see Dawnbringers Book 2 revealed as to what that is. I think that's what we'll see for Age of Sigmar. I don't think it's going to be a particularly big reveal show tonight. I think this is more just for the people who don't play 40k or like the other game system, maybe more than 40k, are more Age of Sigmar fans or whatever. Just showing you that there is something on the horizon. Like a lot of the chat has been around 40k, and I think GW is just doing Nice little thing going, hey guys, like, we understand you're still here. We apologize. There's a lot of 40k at the moment because, you know, new edition. You're getting something. Here it is. I think that's sort of what this reveal show is going to be. It's not going to be anything massively unexpected. Maybe except the old world. I think that'll probably be a release date. Or maybe a starter box reveal. Underworlds will probably... Underworlds is the interesting one because it'd be the 4th warband in the set now. Finishing up Word Hollow. And Warcry based on the... and the Underworld one would be a Chaos Warband based on the roadmap we got. And then Warcry would be a Destruction versus Order box set. So I wonder what we're going to see there. My hope is, you know, I would hope a Kernothi Warband for Warcry would be my ultimate dream. But what is everyone else wanting to see? What do you all want to see for the reveals tonight? Or does anyone want to take a stab at what they reckon the 2 warbands in the Warcry box set that probably is going to be announced will be? Because they said it's going to be a dual box between Destruction and Order based on the roadmap they've given us. So what would you pick those 2 warbands to be if it is Order versus Destruction? I think that is the right thing, Andrew, to always go on these with no expectations, just curiosity. Hoping for something, you know, is nice. Don't expect something. I think that is the important thing. You can hope and you can want, but don't expect. And then you're generally happy with these reveal shows. That's how I look at it. City Ogres versus more Tribe Ogres. I mean, that could be really cool, Seekers. That would be a really cool one. Cities is a good shout for the Warcry. It's not ogres for like cities, like Warcry for cities. Like surely you could see like they did. I do think if we see a cities warband, like, is it going to be like something like Witch Hunters? Like, is that where we go down cities warband route? Is that what we probably see? I think with the Warcry warband, we can safely probably eliminate both Stormcast and Seraphon from the list of order. Maybe it's going to be some Malarian elves. Maybe that's finally what we get. But I would say like Shadow elves might be out of it just because we've got Canite Shadow Stalkers. Sort of don't want anything tripping on their toes in Warcry. So maybe something Lumineth focused. Maybe something Sylvaneth focused. That could be a really cool one. I don't think we'll see that. I think Elm Green, if that's what you want, you are going to be very sorely disappointed. It's not what they show at these, unfortunately. Well, we did see that little trailer. I don't know if anyone's seen it. We saw the trailer they put up about quite clearly about Epic. Revan, hello, mate. How are we? What do we have here? Dreadnought Primaris Lieutenant. I just got another question for on our General's Handbook review. For anyone who didn't know and plays Age of Sigmar, the points are not in the General's Handbook anymore. There is no points booklet. They're not bothered printing that anymore. There's no reason to have it existing anymore. It's just a waste of paper. All points for Warhammer Age of Sigmar will now be online only, digitally available, free to get for you, downloadable. That's where they'll be. There will no longer be a printed version of the points, except in your battle tomes, etc. Just had another question of that drop on the video. So currently we have no points. No one knows any of the points except the playtest teams. So John, I would say we're going to see another probable teaser of Epic. I mean, that'd be weird, wouldn't it, though? Like, they go, it's a not 40k reveal, and then show Epic. Like, that's 40k, isn't it? Because, like, they've purposely not put Kill Team on this, or Necromunda, which are 40k set. They've only got 30k. Heresy's not 40k. They like. They did not put any 40k games on this reveal show. There is no Kill Team. There is no Necromunda. There is Horus Heresy, but that is 30k. For Battlefield Gothic certainly would count as 40k. Because the game notoriously has Necrons in it, and Necrons are a strictly 40k only thing. They do not exist in 30k. Oh, they did. They were just sleeping. That is very much true, Andrew. I would agree with that. I don't know. I think Dawnbringers, like my thought on what we'll probably see is another unit, maybe another unit and a monster sort of thing. Maybe not the big monster for the army, but a medium-sized thing. So a steam tank certainly could be an option. But I think we'll see a launch box and whatever the rest of the contents for said launch box would be. Because we seem to, we've got the launch box, we've got 2 characters available, which is very launch boxy. We've got 2 units, so maybe another unit and a monster. And we're pretty set for what we would probably see in a launch box, I think. Titanicus is really good. I have a set. We've played a couple of games. I've got to get it finished painted and get it up on the channel. I really like Titanicus as a game. I really like Nordica Imperialis as a game as well. I love the new ogre with the crow's nest. Absolutely love him. Like, for cities, I think I'm willing to be quite open-minded. This is obviously going to be the first proper revamp of cities for the Age of Sigmar. Like, the last book was just an amalgamation of units. This is going to be what the theme and the idea is for Cities of Sigmar in the entirety of Age of Sigmar. What is this going to look like? What is the real identity of this army? And so, hello to everyone watching. Say hi, let us know what hobby you're working on, what you're hoping to see from the reviews. I don't think everything will get squatted. I think, like, we're probably seeing like a re-release of a bunch of human units. I think with those, I think we'll probably see the entire Empire line replaced with more Cities of Sigmar looking humans. And I think some units will be retired. But I think they're doing this probably what I said a while ago, doing this at the perfect time. The time you retire Cities of Sigmar units is when you have Old World on the horizon to go, hey, look, those units aren't going to be in this game anymore, but we have a home for them where they originally came from. I think is the smartest play they can make for Cities of Sigmar to give you an Old World army to start with instead. It's not going to float everyone's boat, but it is a compromise that I think they need to do. Yeah, exactly. I will be back in 2 seconds. I think I can hear one of the kids stirring. Back in 1 sec. Apologies, everyone. Little man needed to go to toilet. Life of a dad trying to stream. Well, the lights out. Just needs a hand when he's a bit tired to go to the toilet. But yeah, so sorry, Revan, dropped off while we were having our conversation. Yeah, most of the Warhammer Fantasy range will be tied. Yeah, I think like eventually we'll see most of it retired. Like there are still some old. I mean, obviously Skaven are the poster boys for an old range. I think Vince, when did the research, what was it? 30 years old. The Lord Scroll model is. I mean, I know the Dryads are 2005, so they're coming up to 20 years themselves. They're 18 years old. They're legal, like the Dryads are legal to vote in Australia. So there's definitely like a bunch of kits that will eventually like see the. I'm excited for Old World. I'm really excited to see the reveals today. Old World is definitely going to be something that's going to capture my imagination. If we could start a kill team campaign, which kill team? So I'm assuming. So what you mean by that is like one of the actual kill team warbands. This should come as no surprise that my specific kill team would be the Corsairs, the Eldari Corsairs. I'm a big Eldar fan. Eldar are my thing in 40k. That or the I think it's the Primaris Infiltrators warband. They have like they came out in one of the boxes. There are specific set of rules for kill team for them with the custom sprue and all that. So they would be my two. I really, really like Phobos armor on Space Marines. The more I've looked at it, the more I picked up the Space Wolves Combat Patrol. That obviously has the Hounds of Morkai, and all it made me want to do after building them is I now want to do a Primaris force with heavy Phobos because I really, really dig the Phobos Marines. I think they are so, so cool. Um, Definitely think like I'm really excited for Kill Team. I like how Kill Team started going down the route that Warcry is going down now. That we are exploring these other types of things within those games, these smaller sort of forces. I think makes for a really fun way to have Kill Team playing. Yeah, I'm really happy to see Kill Team going down that route. said it before, like I was a little bit less interested in the game when it was just like using 40k models, because it wasn't anything like particular. I could just play a small game of 40k if that's the case. But now it's sort of gone to this. I'm really excited with like the specialized warbands and kill team. Even just the upgrade set, I'm still really excited. Like with the upgrade set ones that come out for kill team, I really like that. Leviathan right here. That's what I'm painting tonight. Painting up the nids. Getting the base coat for my Triton in. And all the blue on the chitin. One of my favorite GW colors, stick it on scale green. So we are just under, we're at about 25 minutes till the reveal show starts. So not too long. We'll probably go a little bit later because, like I said, the wife's out. I got nothing better to do than just paint some minis. So probably rush the reveal show and we'll hang out and do some painting tonight. Just going out for one of our friends' birthdays, so they will be out rather late tonight. Do you have any wish list for a Warcry Underworld Warband? I mean, Warcry would be Kernothi. We know it's an Order versus Destruction box, and we know it's a Chaos Chaos box coming for Underworlds. It's an Order versus Destruction box coming for Warcry. So mine for Warcry would be Kernothi versus Spiderfang. I would say 2. Yeah, Kernothi versus Spider, or Kernothi versus Man-Eaters, or Firebellies. Imagine a whole Firebelly themed Warband would be amazing. Or heck, Kernothi versus Femir. For something way out there. For Underworlds, swap to a smaller brush for these popcorns. For Underworlds, Chaos, so I guess you know what would be really cool for Chaos for Warhammer Underworlds? We'll be seeing a generic demon warband, so a Chaos Undivided demon, like a Furies themed warband of generic non-god aligned demons for Warcry. For Underworlds. That's what I want to see for Underworlds. with your want there, Revan, you haven't happened to read The Last Valari at all recently, have you? Ah. Well, you should read that because, yeah, there's a reason why I just asked that based on what you wanted. Really good novel. I did quite enjoy it. I think the audio does a lot of justice to it, having two different female narrators, one of them being an actual African American, or I don't think she's African American, sorry. I think she is English. So, black English lady portraying the Last Valari, who is a black woman as a vampire, and really does a lot of justice to the character there, obviously having the right voice actor behind it. But then also there is another character that is portrayed in there as well, and it really does give a nice, good depiction of the two female main characters that the story is told from in there. So really nicely done. Audiobook. I just finished another audiobook. I just finished remember the name of it now. Is War of Secrets, which is one of the Space Marine Conquest novels. It's about the Dark Angels and sort of the first Primaris coming into their ranks. It was a nice fun, and now I've started Leviathan. What's AOS rules that got exported to? They're all. I don't think a lot of AOS third got exported to 10th edition. In all honesty, I'm trying to think. I don't think anything really. Nothing comes to mind. Oh, obviously, yeah, Andrew, yeah. Battleline wasn't really exported. Revan, Battleline is just what they had as core. It was already a thing. Yeah, Andrew is correct. That is the big one. I wasn't thinking of rules like that as a rule. Army structure sort of it's actually looser than Age of Sigmar. Age of Sigmar is stricter than what this 40k one is. Age of Sigmar, you have to generally pick certain generals to get through to the certain loops that you have in the 40k army building. Yeah, I wasn't thinking of like points and all that as like game rules, but yes, obviously that is taken from Age of Sigmar. But I don't think any like rules of the game. Hey, building an army is a little bit different than the rules of the game. Sort of how you make the structure for the game. I don't think any actual rules I can think of off the top of my head was straight up taken. Look, like 40k should never have been as points gritty as it should for such a large game. That points grit like that, it belongs in miniature skirmish games. Like Kill Team is a perfect place to have that nitty-gritty for points and stuff like that. It shouldn't be in something like 40k and Age of Sigmar, where they're supposed to be mass battle games. It's way too difficult to put army lists together to figure it out. I play a lot of other mass battle games, and none of them have points as gritty as 40k. There's a reason for it. King's War uses points closer to Age of Sigmar. Conquest points closer to Age of Sigmar. All of these things points closer to that more, set number value like Age of Sigmar has had for so long. And there's a reason for it. It's better, it's quicker to hold out to make army lists, it's quicker to understand, it's less gritty, it's less time consuming, it's less daunting. I mean, the details of weaponry really. Yeah, I don't think like weaponry. I think different weaponry will be good in different sorts of game modes now. I feel like Flamer's value in a normal game of Age of Sigmar isn't as good as it is in a boarding action game where you're going to come up against lots of low value infantry. Alablast Knights, good morning or good night from over here, I guess. It doesn't really take away the less customization, John, because you are either doing one of two things, right? With your points. You're either going for the best option and spending the points, or you're going for the cheapest option and not spending the points. So either way, that unit was like, you're either going for the best option, spending the points, or you weren't taking the best option because it was inconsequential to have that model spending those points. But the fact a tactical marine sergeant can have a thunder hammer and storm shield for free, essentially, in the new thing matters not. It's a tactical sergeant. It's a tactical space marine sergeant. He's not meant to go get in combat with that thunder hammer, and the amount of times that thunder hammer is going to change the outcome of a fight that his side is in is inconsequential to the overall play of 99% of games. The difference between a tactical squad loaded out the same and how much effect they would have on the battle with their sergeant with a chainsword and bolt pistol compared to a thunderhammer and storm shield is probably actually less because he doesn't have the bolt pistol or bolter to shoot with anymore. Same thing, like a bolter and thunderhammer, it's going to be the same. He's not going to use that thunderhammer 9 out of 10 games. He's not meant to go again in combat, and if he does, he's got 3 attacks anyway. He's going to kill, he's going to kill 3 models. If 3 models are make or breaking the game, then he was already winning that combat. It honestly does not matter. It is of so little consequence. Regardless of what it's replacing, it's inconsequential. It will depend over game modes and thing. John, like having played quite a few, like heavy bolts and heavy flamers will change over the game mode, and how your table is set up and how you're playing. I think as we add more stuff over the edition, you'll find these different weapon options actually become different. And look, it is the first time they've done this with 40k. They will need to balance the weapons out properly. Like it is not going to be perfect, but it will be the best way forward for the game. People wanted simplicity. This is how you get simplicity. You can't remain a gritty 1 point upgrade for an ion blaster on every 3 different models in your army game and want simplicity. That just doesn't work. Like Age of Sigmar has proven time and time again that 50 points of an army list, the difference in that does not matter. Like, heck, 100 points does not matter. Constantly, you don't have to have this minutiae of points, because like there is like a good point to it is there are plenty of Age of Sigmar armies winning tournaments that are not 2,000 points. With 40k, 99% of armies were at 2k because they were trying to fit in every point because they thought that was the most efficient way to get the game to work, when it's not the case. Like, it's better to be 4 points left over and not have, the point, and then rather trying to find a point to give a particular sergeant a plasma pistol to spend all your points exactly to the number. It is a big change for 40k, and it will have some teething issues, but it'll be for the best of the game in the long run. And it's still probably best for the game now. Meme list for AOS and 40k. I mean, I don't really run meme lists because, like, I just enjoy running lists to do. I don't run them for. I can't say like I build a list for a meme for any reason. But I build a list because I want to play the army. I don't sort of build meme lists per se. You might not have jumped, but that is the vast majority of what people are screaming online. It has been a big detriment to 40k in the last edition that things got more and more complex, and it actually started to, I would say, with how they've gone about changing and making the game simple, probably affected the bottom line. I mean, if we're talking like redo of models and everything, if I have to pick 2 Alabaster Knights, full overhaul, Skaven for Age of Sigmar. I mean, the only army that currently needs a full overhaul. And for 40k, I mean, the answer is probably still Eldar, even with their release last year. They probably still got the largest amount of old range. I mean, but I wouldn't run that for a meme like Revan. It's not a meme to me. Like, if I want to do that, I'm doing that because I can. Like, I'm doing that because I want to. It's not a meme. It's because that's the army I want to run. I guess on that point, you could say, like, I have my all Hydra army. That's because I generally like playing the army. Now, I wouldn't say there's less customization. Customization has just changed. I think this goes back to the point of like how GW build their games. They don't build them for Johnnies. They build them for what is it? Spike, I think is the correct one. For the experience, the big moments. That's exactly what Warhammer, Age of Sigmar, and 40k are both those games of big moments. Feck would be another good one. See, Feck for me need more than a range overhaul. Feck need a range. Coherency in Age of Sigmar is an interesting one. Oh, it's 1023, so we might want to just go over here. Just refresh this bugger. Their stream cut out after 30 seconds, apparently. It is, but I do play other games that are nitty gritty as well, like John. Like, I can play Spike games, I can play Timmy games, I can play Johnny games. I think like that's always what Age of Sigmar and Warhammer 40k have been, is they are primarily games focused around big moments. I sit around a table with Age of Sigmar, and like that's why priority is a big and exciting thing in Age of Sigmar. Stuff like that.
Ethan, listen to me. The world's coming after you. Stay out of my way.
What's this thing? That can't be right. That's not the right. No, this is 7 days ago. Why are you showing me this, Warhammer? Oh, here we go. Right, here we go. How's the sound for everyone, by the way? Yeah, Andrew, that is my point for 40k. Is like these two large games. Nitty gritty points, they exist in smaller games. Like Kill Team, like Warcry could go to nitty gritty points. It doesn't need to, just how the game is built. But like Kill Team is nitty gritty points. Things like Infinity and nitty gritty. More time. I think it's plenty of like other games that are nitty gritty. Like all those sort of skirmish games and stuff like that. But then you have like big moment games in skirmish as well. Screamers a little loud. Okay, you can turn that down. How is this? Let us know, like sound-wise, if I need to go up. It may be that I need to bring the laptop, which I have to use when I do the inside streams, closer to me, or I may just need to speak up and stop the mumbling that can sometimes happen with ADHD. And sometimes might be fine, and then I'll sort of get in my rhythm. My voice has a little reverb. God damn it. How is this now? I can't really do much. While I lean back, go, don't lean back. Just to sort of, John, have I got the reverb here? I'm just trying to control it to see where we go, so I know what not to do. And is it better when I lean forward? It may just be that, like, how my kitchen is, I've got like this arrow cut in, and then it goes up, and I've got the kitchen out there, and then I can cut out. So it's probably when I'm back here, the sound can travel that way. While here, it can travel this way. Don't lean back too much. Yeah, I think that's the issue because of where I was. If I lean back a little bit too much, I'm out of sort of like this little indent in our kitchen dining space where the sound can go wide. Where I am now, I've not got the walls. I've got the walls, so it sort of just travels a long way. Yeah, Andrew, the best thing for 40k is making sure those options are worth taking, and that will take time. It took its time in Age of Sigmar, and they got rid of needless things in Age of. Turn the stream down a little bit if that's better. How's the stream now, everyone? Yep. They just have their stream die again. Warhammer is offline again. Huh? Oh dear. Games Workshop seem to be having some troubles. All right, so it's not me that's struggling. GW. Yeah, no, it's GW. GW are having problems on their end. Oh dear. Just reading all of the comments. Well, apparently there's not a lot of reviews. And yeah, since it's not 40k related, the tech priests have taken the day off. They'll be like, "We'll show you know 40k." Oh, and that's died right at supposed to be start time. So we'll refresh. Yeah, no, it's complete. Who knows? Yeah, no, they are definitely offline. Whoa, this is interesting. Hey, Gordon, you might get nothing the way this is going. GW are never late for a stream, ever. They are a well-oiled machine at this. So yes, the stream is supposed to start for anyone joining us now. GW went live for like, they had one that was up for like 20 seconds. They had one up for like 20 seconds and they just went for a 5-minute stream and that cut out and failed. Xenomorph Warrior, no Primaris Lieutenant, no show. I mean, and yeah, this one's not even going to have a Night Quester, so we haven't even got like the other thing that GW constantly make, Night Questers, with names. So no Night Quester, no Primaris Lieutenant, because obviously we've got the Night Questers in Warcry, so we're definitely... Try reloading again. No, they're still off. That's playing the... I'm going to see if they've posted anything about it online. Oh, here we go. Warhammer is live now. Refresh the page.
Ethan, listen to me.
Go the ads because I'm not playing GW. Just me once every month.
Stay out of my
Every
way.
couple of months. I don't watch anything else. So you can all watch the ads with me for the new Mission Impossible. Go see it. The Cinema Slayer. Apparently, Michael Air, which is literally what I'm scripting right now. Perfect ad. Well, GW, your ads still work. So that's a bonus. GW, you're managing to stream properly, so your ads are working. Tom Cruise in AOS. Okay, here we go. Let's have a bit of fun. Tom Cruise, If he could play anyone in Age of Sigmar, who would he play? Who would Tom Cruise play? My thought is Tom Cruise is like the super, Mission Impossible. Is he not Garda Steel Soul?
Hello and welcome to the Not Warhammer 40,000 preview online 2023. I am Eddie and I'm joined by the wonderful Alex. Alex, thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Are you excited to talk about almost all things Warhammer?
Yes, everything except 40k.
Yeah, we've had a very busy time for Warhammer 40,000 in the last few months, as you might have been aware.
Rightly so.
So what we're doing with this preview is we're basically going to look at everything else that's going on. So Warhammer is a huge, great hobby with loads of exciting games and different settings. Warhammer 40,000 has had a lot of attention.
Recently, so we're going to
take the lens and point it at some things. We're going to look at the Mortal Realms, some really exciting stuff coming for fans of Age of Sigmar and a game set in that world. We're going to look at the Age of Darkness. We got a little bit of Old World as well. Throw into.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us. If you are online, guys, thanks ever so much for tuning in. Had a little bit of technical trouble at the start there, going live a couple of minutes late, but don't worry, we're live now. We've got all the things lined up. Do let us know where you're watching from. If you're tuning in from somewhere around the world, it's always nice to see where you guys are choosing to Warhammer at the moment. And also, let us know what hobby you're up to at the moment while you're watching. Alex, what's your hobby table look like?
It's really cool. I really dig these.
40k-ish box on it.
We're not allowed to talk. We're not allowed to talk about that.
So I'm currently doing some Soulblight,
very nice,
Blood Dragon Vampires. What about yourself?
Very cool. So I've also been painting some of the game that we shall not name, but I have also been playing quite a lot of Warhammer Age of Sigmar recently. Been playing my Cruel Boys, add some new models into those recently.
Very cool.
So I've been really enjoying playing Age of Sigmar and playing Oryx. Maybe see some more Oryx in this preview. Maybe. Who knows?
Ooh,
just have a look at where everyone's tuning in for at the moment. We got loads of people. I can't even follow the comments. They're zipping past.
Australia, Scotland, a couple of people in Nottingham, of course.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, thanks for tuning. Thanks ever so much for tuning in, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Alex, what are you excited about seeing today? Have you got any things, your IPs or worlds or anything you're particularly hoping for or looking forward to?
Obviously, we all know we're seeing Underworlds, Warcry, Age of Sigmar.
I'm really excited to see
as you said, and a little bit for the Horus
last chance everyone to get in your predictions for what we're going to see. Maybe the next review show we need to make a video.
Yeah, if you guys are on social media, and I assume you probably are because you're sitting there on a Twitch right now, we did put out a little bit of a teaser on our Warhammer Facebook and our Warhammer Twitter about 2 hours ago. So if you've not seen that already, it might be worth just poking your head in quickly, giving it a watch and seeing if you can decipher it. It's pretty subtle. I think it's pretty subtle. Yeah. But you guys might be able to work out one of the things that might be on its way. But we've got loads of really fun stuff to show you.
Go Trek can't be.
I think I'm quite excited for some Mortal Realm stuff. So I'm loving Age of Sigmar at the moment. It's a really great game. I like him at Oryx, but I'm also quite excited about Cities of Sigmar.
Yeah,
quite excited. I think that's a really big thing for the Mortal Realms to finally see the mortals, the humans.
Indeed, we saw some fantastic stuff at Fest, and then
we did.
A couple of little reveals have come out on Warcom since then.
Yeah, I just having a look at the chat. Lots of Skates. Some people have mentioned Skaven.
Ooh.
Might see a little bit of. Might have some Skaven.
I think we might have given away a little bit of something.
Some teasers. Quite a lot of people excited about seeing some Old World stuff. Yeah. That's exciting. There are some silhouettes as well up at the moment on the Warhammer community website of some of the things that you might see. So you might be able to decipher those.
All right, let's have a look at these.
If you know your Warhammer well. Before we get stuck in, we're also joined by Raf, who is putting all of our tech together. So thank you, Raf, for making all that work.
And we've got a chaos. I would say the silhouettes
keeping all you guys in line.
We definitely have.
Well. So big thanks to both of those guys for helping this run nice and smoothly. Right, I think that's
Sigmar something in the middle.
Pleasantries and introductions aside. We can probably dive into our very first preview. So, Raf, take us away.
All right, let's have it. Yay, Cities of Sigmar! Man, these guys look so cool. How would it launch? Ooh. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Wow. Wow.
So this is the free cities, the Cities of Sigmar and some glorious new miniatures on the way.
Indeed.
So
Yeah,
there is a new launch box to tell you about today, and also an incredible new character. So let's have a look at the launch box first. Some of the models that are in this we've seen before. There's some new things in there as well to talk about. But much like we've seen with some of the other really significant major army releases for Warhammer Age of Sigmar and Warhammer 40,000, the first place you'll be able to get hold of some of these new miniatures and the new battle tome is going to be in this box set. Alex, what can you tell us about this set?
So, as you said, we've seen some of these before. We've seen the Cavaliers at the top. We've seen the Steel Helms down there, and we've had the Marshal and the Relic Envoy that was, I believe, revealed on Warcom.
I believe so, yeah. But a lot of models in this set.
Indeed, and there is a few that we haven't seen before. So you'll notice there in the middle. Oh, no. So
Jump
we've got
already.
No, it's all right. Move on. So yes, so this is the Free Guild Marshal and the Relic Envoy. Now you don't
really
get to
do.
be,
I mean,
top dog.
Are you
in
building
the
anything but
Free
double
Guilds,
pistol cool looking
by
dude
kind
in
of,
this?
sitting behind a desk. So these guys are the best of the best. They get there by merit because you don't go out into the mortal realms and survive to become a marshal unless you are an exceptional warrior and leader.
Yeah. Really, really lovely, flexible kit as well. So obviously, this is a character that you can you can make your own.
Building
You
that
can
dual
kind of
pistol
decide
one. I
the
don't care how
storyline
good it
for
is.
them.
That's by far
you
the
can choose if
coolest.
they're going to have pistols,
Gunslinging
a helmet, if they've got a
marshal.
great sword, shield, great hammer. So lots and lots of options in this kit, which is nice to see.
That's it. And they've got the little Relic Envoy there. So the Relic Envoys are basically some of the best squires. And they come along, as you can see there, with a little head in a box. Now, that tends to be one of the family's ancestors that has a bit of experience. And they've been a series of death rites has been performed on them. So they can communicate via the squire and basically advise the marshal. So if you're in an area you don't know, you can always ask Grandad. Or Grandad can berate you for doing things wrong.
Fair enough. Well, we have seen this model before, though, so let's move on and see what else we've got. So this model is brand new.
Yes.
The Alchemite Warforger.
Yep.
So I think you can gain some things just by kind of having a look at the miniature itself. It's obviously
this is
magical
cool.
in some nature. He's a master of metal. What is this model? What's going on with this character?
So there's a little mantra where there is metal, there is power. These specialist wizards, they're basically seconded to the free guilds to use their magic to strengthen the metal in Sigmar's armies. So, they'll make sure your armor is a little bit more resistant, your weapons cut a little bit better, because the mortal realms are full of Aurochs and Stormcast and all things that are bigger and probably stronger than you. So you need all the help you can get. He's got a nice little runic crucible there to help him influence the battlefield. But it's not just sort of helping your own guys that he does. He can turn your enemy's armor to lead so they drop to the floor, or he can make it incredibly brittle so their weapons shatter or melt. He's a very versatile battlefield wizard.
It's got quite a nice kind of battered look to the miniature as well.
That lovely leather apron to protect him.
It looks like a huge, heavy kind of forger's apron, doesn't it? And even like the helmet on him there is quite kind of reminiscent of your kind of Stormcast helmets, but much more kind of unsubtly put together. It's like hammered and smashed together, so you can see the building materials in it almost.
There's almost like a welder's helmet to it.
But very cool, like obviously a big metal cauldron there, but a very interesting take on a metal wizard. Effectively, yeah.
Because we've seen a lot of the Collegiate Arcanum's sort of wizards in the flowing robes.
Very kind of old school wizardy.
Yes.
This is a little bit more kind of grounded mortal realms wizard sort of thing. Very cool, very cool. So Free Guild Steel Helms. Now we've seen a couple of these miniatures before, but this is the full unit. So for the first time, we get to have a look at your standard bearer / musician character. We've also got another kind of relic envoy character there at the top right. What do we know about the Free Guild Steel Helms? Now we can see the whole unit altogether.
So these guys are the basic infantry of the cities, and so they tend to have come from, say, the common folk. And, various preachers and stuff have convinced them to sign up, take the coin Malleus, join the Dawnbringer Crusades, etc. But this unit, because they are regular humans essentially, they need a little bit more to get them going. So we've got the Steel Helm Herald there on the left, and as you can imagine, walking into battle with both a trumpet and a banner, not holding your sword or shield, you've got to be the bravest, most loyal person there. The flags have been essentially triply blessed by the cults in Barogan, as well as the Order Valoris, but they also tend to have an emblem of one of the settlements that has yet to be founded. So it's essentially a promise that this unit will found that settlement.
one city sort of thing.
Yeah. And then we've got the battle priest over on the right-hand side. As any good priest, he can rouse the troops with a great sermon, but he also holds that relic there. Now, we've seen in the past that the skulls of martyrs have become a bit of a diminishing resource, whereas a martyr has many other things. Broken swords, shields, bits of armor, pinky bones, that sort of thing. So the battle priests bring one of them, and they do have a genuine effect, both on the troops and their weapons. So, the faith has been proved right.
Cool. I like that guy in the top right there has got a sort of angry innkeeper vibe.
Yes.
Imagine once they start the settlement, he's
Like
the guy.
a priest in all the little
dishing out
units is
flagons
cool.
of ale sort of thing at the new founded settlements bar.
He's put a lot of faith in his faith, as it were, not wearing a helmet, and whilst everybody else has swords and shields, he's got a club.
Yeah, very cool, very cool. Yeah, lovely little unit there. So well, here we are. This is the Free Guild Cavaliers. So we're not going to dwell on these for too long, but because we have seen this unit before. But this is your
really
heavy
like the
cavalry,
idea of the
effectively,
whole,
for the
symbol
Free
in
Guild,
the flag
cities of Sigmar.
is a city that hasn't yet been
One thing
found,
worth
so they're
noting about this
promising
kit,
to
it's a
find
very,
something.
very flexible kit. You can put it together in loads and loads of different ways. So weapons, heads, horses, iconography is all very, very flexible. So you can get lots of this unit and come out with a very different kit every time, effectively.
That's it.
Very cool. Okay. And then inside the Cities of Sigmar launch box, that will also be the first chance to get hold of the new Cities of Sigmar Battle Tome. The cover there, you can see, is going to be a special edition cover, so it doesn't have art on it. It's got kind of heraldry of some of the cities. Some of the cities' heraldry on there you might have recognized from the current Cities of Sigmar. Some of it's new. A little peek at some of the rules there on the page. If you kind of squint, you might be able to make out some things. But a very rich, very packed battle tome. This one, it's got lots and lots of units in it, representing the kind of full spectrum of the Cities of Sigmar. Obviously, covering all of the units in the box, but also the wider army, which includes all sorts of things. Some of which we've yet to see. Some of it taking from the existing Age of Sigmar range. One of the things that includes is this new model as well, which is, I think, one of the best models of the whole year. This is a phenomenal monster.
How cool is that
Alex, what do we
model?
know about it?
So this is Talia Vedra, Lioness of the Parch, given that nickname by her troops. So to a degree, people kind of refer to her as a bit of a queen of Hammerhall, but in reality, she's the first marshal of Hammerhall Aksha, leader of the armies, and again, she's achieved her position through merit, starting off as a mercenary, working her way up. A little stint in some elements of politics involving 4 rather corrupt individuals getting killed, and then straight out back to the battlefield. So she comes with a couple of options, a couple of weapons, as well as a manticore there, Infernodyne.
Infernodyne is a very cool name for a manticore. I think when we started out this year, everyone sort of suspected that the lion might be the best model of the year, but I don't think that they everyone realized which lion it was going to be. I think this is an absolutely beautiful kit. This is going to be an awesome
really
treat
cool
for painters.
blend.
If you're sometimes there's a model which is so nice that you just go, it doesn't matter what army that's in. I want that army because that model is just glorious. And I think this is one of those absolutely knockout centerpiece kits that you can just build a whole collection around. It's going to look incredible on a battlefield. She's really good in the game as well. So if you're looking just for a gaming piece, she's probably the most competent mortal human in the realms. I can't think of many others that would kind of come close, really.
And even if they did come close,
the detail on that line,
probably, yeah. The manticore she's riding is very cool. We've seen manticores before. We've seen kind of like chaos incarnations. This is a much more kind of noble beast. So you've got a much kind of more proud, noble, I suppose, realistic-looking lion rather than a kind of chaotic beast. Does still have a massive scorpion tail on it, so it's definitely still a fantastical creature. Very noble, kind of eagle pinions coming out the side. Lots of
what do we think of the manticore?
Barding and stuff on it as well, so it fits. Even though it's a kind of weird Mortal Realms monster, it still fits really nicely into the rest of your army. You can paint it in the palette and color scheme to match it. Obviously, most usually she's going to be wearing the colours of Hammerhall, which is the kind of general of that force. Should we talk a bit about the options in the kit, Alex? Do you want to tell us what's going on with the weapons?
So she obviously comes with a helmeted and unhelmeted, but she also has essentially 3 weapons. So she's got the sword Parch Tongue, which is an artifact from basically the Flame Wizards, and it can burn anything except for her. It's cool to her touch. She's got the Axe Justice that was taken from the bloody Duke Brutar. And then she's got the Hammer of Zeal. So this is formerly a weapon called Warmaker from the corrupt treasurer Venalius. But whilst it does inspire a lot of people because it's got a bit of a holy element to it, she does have a habit of trying to lose it. However, it always comes back in some form or another.
Like a boomerang.
Yes.
That's cool.
So what you might notice as well behind her is some heads inside that kind of weird casket thing. Definitely a recurring theme, isn't it, with the cities of Sigmar? That
Yes,
they have
I
heads in a
like the
box that
idea
they
of
carry around with
having
them.
multiple
What are
weapons.
these heads
You would
about,
expect a
Alex?
general
So
like
these
this to have
again,
multiple
they're
weapons.
martyrs' skulls.
This is a
martyrs'
cool
relics.
idea. Like I don't know when
and as
you're
we've seen with an awful lot of the range, yes, they carry around bits of former martyrs.
Fair enough. Right. Well, an incredible miniatures. We might have a little bit more for the Mortal Realms later on in this preview, but it's now time to take a look at the 31st millennium, and we'll have a look at our next preview.
Is this a Chaos Knight Lancer, mate? I won't mute while there's cool music playing. I will mute their blabbering. I mean, it's not the most exciting thing, but more Plastic Knights is welcome, like without a doubt.
So, two brand new Horus Heresy era Plastic Knights. First off, we got the Knight Acheron. What do we know about Knight Acherons, Alex?
So the Acheron is essentially a terror weapon.
Right. So yeah, you got the Knight Acheron here. So I've muted. This should be muted as well. Yeah. No, I'm fine with this. Plastic Knights are cool. I'm cool with more Plastic Knights. Having less of them in resin is just good. I'm muted now.
Another new knight as well on its way, the Knight Castigator. So, what do we know about Knight Castigators, Alex?
So yes, this is essentially an
Cool. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. Plastic Knights, I mean, it's not really something I care too much about, but I am happy to see Plastic Knights. More of them coming out is always a good thing, I think. It's cool to see plastic ones of these. That's what I'm excited for. The plastic ones of these is the biggest thing. Cool. Yeah, I do like the Atropos Revan. I do like these knights. I mean, they look cool. They're probably not the most interesting color schemes. I really like my knights to be like really bright colors against the metal. Like the metal's a lot brighter than I do my knights. I do really dark metals on my knights and then a really bright poppy color for the skin.
But before we jump into that, we're going to jump into the underworlds of Warhammer.
All right, so this will be the last one for Word Hollow, the last warband for Word Hollow. Oh, it's another Skaven. It's a Clan Pestilence one. Okay. I mean, it's a plastic plague sensor bearer and a plastic plague and a plastic plague guy. I mean, that's adorable. Scabric Plague Shooter. I mean, we know what the coolest model in the warband is, right? He's on the left. It's Scabbers. Cool. Can't wait to grab this one.
So a new Warhammer Underworlds warband for Skaven Clans Pestilence, the Claw Pack. What do we know about these?
So this is Skabbic's Plague Pack.
Plague Pack, sorry.
6 absolutely fantastic brand new models. This is
the first Clan Pestilence model released by Games Workshop for 20 years. This is pretty darn cool. I mean, if it's something... So what have we now seen for Skaven? We've now seen Warlord, Eshin, and Pestilence. So that leaves a Scryer one, which would be really cool. A Molder one, which would be amazing. Wait, what? Part of the lore is they decided they wanted to steal the hair of Kragnos, and that's how they ended up running into the Word Hollow. That's brilliant. The lore for them. The reason they're there is because they stole the hair of Kragnos' back and had to flee into the Word Hollow to escape his wrath. I look forward to painting these up. These look really, really fun. I thought this might be what we saw for Skaven. It's really, really cool. Yeah, no. What do we think of these plague rats? I think these are really cool. I think these are really, really cool. Evelian, yeah, GW stream crashed at one point a couple of times before they try to load up. Oh, cool. They have like a really cool stagger mechanic with Bashala. There's lots of different stagger abilities in the warband. Yeah. So yeah, they've got like a cool mechanic where they have to try. Oh, so here we go. Block card. At the end of our action phase, players and no one's been corrupted by a warband. If one or more, two or more friendly fighters are in that territory, one or more friendly befalers are on an objective, or when a territory becomes corrupted, it remains corrupt until the next action phase. Territory can corrupt multiple warbands at the same time. Cool. Very objective and board control-y by the looks of them. Yeah, they're looking really fun. Very board control, very objective focused. This is a really cool warband. I'm liking what I'm seeing. The models are cool. The playstyle seems very different to the other ones. Once again, we're getting another warband in Underworlds that seems to be very movement focused. Like a lot of Word Hollow is really spreading out like how the game is played on the table now for Warcry Underworld.
Staying in the Mortal Realms for now. That was Warhammer Underworlds. We've got a little bit of something to show you from the other skirmish game set within the Mortal Realms. Something new for Warcry. Take it
All right, Warcry, here we go. Oh, we got Cruel Boys. We got a Cruel Boys warband. Oh, wow. Evil Monkey. Evil monkey. Wow. Okay, why do not all the Cruel Boys look like this?
Yeah, so these are brand new Cruel Boys warband for Warhammer Age of Sigmar Warcry. Yeah, really, really cool. These are my jam, basically.
All right. So yeah. Evil monkeys? Hell yeah. So Warcry. So Warcry is moving away from box sets of dual. From I think I was on the right path of reading what they said. Some people sort of counted it and said, "I would think we're getting one dual box," but no, it does seem like we are getting no dual boxes for a bit. We're going to just be receiving warbands in the game. This seems to be what they're going to go for both Kill Team and for Warcry in general. Now going back to releasing just warbands here and there. This is super cool. Those monkeys are awesome. Seven model warband, another low count warband for Warcry too, from the lower end, under 8. That big dude's got to be so punchy. And so not everything's in the picture here. We have the Baller Boys as well. And so there's a couple of other models in this warband as well, from what they're saying. The ones that were shouting that we saw in the trailer, but not here.
Moving away from the mortal realms, we do have something new to show you from the old world.
Ooh, old world time.
Here is a cool new model.
And Bretonian Paladin. Cool. We're going to see some Bretonians. Standard bearer. I mean, he looks sweet. Oh, look at that flame. So, looking at his face, what's he on? That's what I'm really interested in. It's going to determine what cover you're going to be on, I think. He looks to be on maybe a 30mm. What's the base size?
So a brand new battle standard for Bretonia. It's nice to see a Bretonian hero on a horse. That's kind of how you associate them most of the time. Battle standards, of course, an important part of Warhammer. If you played old Warhammer Fantasy Battle, and certainly will be still in Warhammer the Old World, battle standards particularly important to Bretonia. It was always like a given that your army will have a standard.
So battle standards
they love their heraldry, and there's nothing quite as heraldic as the biggest flag you can possibly find.
They announced it's going to be a bigger base size already. We already know that. So 30 maybe? Doesn't look ridiculously bigger. They announced they want larger base sizes so that they can have more freedom on the model, so they're not so regimented, not so blocky. Oh, yeah, without a doubt. So they announced all 20mm will be going to 25s. They didn't say anything else more than that. So that definitely looks bigger to me. Like 30, 35 maybe. Doesn't look like 40. I think 30, or maybe 32. Maybe that is the number. Maybe it's a 32mm base. Maybe that's the size. 32 by 55, maybe? I'm just trying to listen and see if they talk about the base size. I think it's a 32.
So that's all we got.
That's it.
That's all we got. I'm only joking. We've got another
32
for you guys. So this I think is probably I'm gonna say the most exciting thing for today. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
This is the thing that you might have spotted some teasers on for social media.
All right. So here we go, the teaser.
So yeah, let's take it away and have a look at our last preview of the day.
Yep. Cool. We have epic Horus Heresy. Wow. This is cool. Warhammer Heart. Legions Imperialis.
So Warhammer, the Horus Heresy, Legions Imperialis, battle on a new scale. This is a brand new game at an epic scale, set in the Horus Heresy era, that will be launching fairly soon with a glorious new box set. And what you can see on the screen right now is the contents of that launch box for the brand new game. This is a really, really exciting thing. This is something we haven't really done as Games Workshop for a very long time. Obviously, we've seen epic scale stuff before in the shape of Adeptus Titanicus and Aeronautica, but what we've got now is the ability to fully recreate the grand battles, the epic scale battles of the Horus Heresy, with entire armies of tanks and troops and infantry, backed up with titans and aircraft and all sorts of stuff. So. This is the box set. Alex, anything you want to tell us about what's going on here?
We've got an incredible mixture here. So essentially, these are two armies that can face off, or, you could maybe get the box yourself and combine them together. Because, say, most of the expeditionary forces that were, part of the nascent Imperium, they had a combination of, say, Titans, of Imperial Army elements, of the Solar Auxilia, and of the Legions themselves. So there's no reason not to take all of these as one massive force.
Yeah. So what we've got in the box, you can see there's plenty of Space Marines there. They are painted up in Death Guard colors. The warriors in red and grey are Solar Auxilia, and you've got some Titans at the back there. And the way that Legions Imperialis works is that you take armies in detachments, basically. So you put those Space Marines together into a detachment force. Maybe you take the Space Marine tanks together. And then you can have them fighting alongside troops from the Solar Auxilia and from the Titan Legions, also from Knight Households, that sort of stuff. So as you say, Alex, if you want to, you can get this box and you can go Space Marines on one side, Solar Auxilia on the other side, and you can fight it. Or you can put it all together and form the start of a much larger Legions Imperialis army, which you can then bolt onto all sorts of other stuff. It won't just be this box. There are loads and loads of things on their way for Legions Imperialis, to the point where you will be able to play almost anything you can imagine that's part of the Horus Heresy. Will be getting something for Legions Imperialis at some point.
So these guys, whilst they're painted as Death Guard, they're not Legion specific. So say you wanted to play Salamanders, for instance, you could do.
Absolutely. So this is the box set itself. Legions Imperialis, epic battles in the Age of Darkness, also comes with the things you need to play in there as well. So you've got the rule book, and you've got those two armies, and that will launch alongside a whole range of other great things that we're able to use to play the game. So let's have a look at some of these models in detail. We've really zoomed in on these. These models are very, very small. To give you a sense of the scale on these, if you have seen the Titanicus miniatures or the Aeronautica miniatures, these are in the same scale as those. So we're going to start referring to this as epic scale.
But
they are not quite the same size as
both have minis. Both their mini sets
models
will work
that
with
you
this.
might remember from 20, 30 years ago, which tended to have a fairly inconsistent size. They are sized exactly in proportion to the Titans and aircraft that you've already seen, in ratio to their size in the Horus Heresy game. So they stand pretty much bob on.
Yeah, that does seem like what they're doing. Like they've just
the
said
height
there that
of their Horus Heresy.
So I've just said there that, like the games. We did only get a Horus Titanicus box set, Titanicus book, rounding out all the lore and narrative scenarios not too long ago. Chaos Knight. Sorry, Plastic Knights. Erastus and Arcade Rebellion. These are really cool. Yeah. This is, yeah, really. I mean, this is cool. Very well might be a Valiant. Does seem like it. Like this, they said is imminent. So I expect this to be out in the next couple of months. Oh, these are cool. I mean, they're cool. I wonder how many of like the weird things we are going to see in this. That like the different sort of things we're going to see. what do we think of all of this stuff?
These are the Lehman Russ
same.
battle tanks
Yeah.
you know and love, and you can have whole swathes of them.
I wonder if we're going to see anything else, or if this is it.
Yeah. Ooh, the Malkador. So this is sort of originally the mainstay of the Solar Auxilia. These were heavier tanks that were eventually sort of phased out a fair amount for the Lehman Russ because it was a little bit lighter, a little bit more flexible, and better to use on the battlefield. So these often got sort of relegated to strategic reserves. But obviously, as the heresy wore on, you needed to use everything at your disposal. So they all came out of storage. But they are still a formidable force on the battlefield.
Yeah, again, loads of lovely little details on these as well. So different options for sponsons, for commanders poking their heads out the top of them as well. So really, really, really nice little kits. And then we've got some Titans as well. So Legions Imperialis isn't just about troops and tanks. You can use miniatures that you have from your Titan Legions collection from Adeptus Titanicus.
Cool.
You can also, although not in this box, use some of the Horus Heresy era versions of Aeronautica planes. So if you've got stuff like Thunderhawks and that sort of thing, you can put them into your armies.
Cool. Aeronautica and Titanicus just got confirmed.
The Warhound Titans that come in the launch box for Legions Imperialis have some new weapons that we haven't seen before in plastic.
Yes.
So you have an Ursus Claw there.
Yeah.
There's some melter cannon.
Oh, wait, yeah,
missiles,
that is an
Alex,
Ursus Claw.
do you want to tell us about
So
those
we're doing
weapons?
welding?
Yes,
Could
as you
fire
said,
there,
these
sorry.
are weapons that I believe we've shown off before, but they've always been in resin. So
Yeah,
this
I
new
wonder how
plastic
this
kit
is-
allows you to have Ursus Claws, a Natrix Shock Lance,
I
a
do
Volkite
wonder how this is
Eradicator
going
that
to
you
go.
can see on
Will
the
this
right-hand
affect Horus
side.
Heresy?
We've got missile
Will
pods
this
with
little thing that,
Swarmer or
you know,
Shudder
also takes
missiles,
field? It takes things?
and an incisor pattern melter lance for when
Right, this
a
is going to be
Warhound
interesting
Titan,
to
a
see how
Scout
this sort of
Titan,
goes.
as scouty as a Titan can be, needs to take out some heavy armor. But those are not on the bases we recognize.
Yeah, so across the whole Legions Imperialis range of miniatures, you'll notice they have a brand new type of basing. The reason they've got that is basically the models are very small for the most part. So if you have a really thick base, it sort of distracts a bit from the model.
Okay.
So you've got nice thin bases, so the infantry doesn't look too out of place. But to make sure that your Titans match, if you want to, you can base them on brand new Titan bases, which means that they are kind of the same level as the infantry squads. So they look kind of in keeping with the rest of the army. You can absolutely keep your Titans on the bases they're currently on. If you already have Titanicus army, you can still play with them. Another thing to note about the bases, one thing that's really nice about Legions Imperialis is that it's really well supported, or will be really well supported with a terrain offer. So there will be loads of different ways to build.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what
create a
does
whole
this start competing for like heritage space?
dystopian metropolis
Like,
for
does
your
heresy
troops to
stuff
fight
because of
across,
this? Does this
and you could
just
even
not
blow
kick
up
on
some of
because
those
of
buildings
heresy?
mid-game and have do stuff like
Very
that. So your
interested to
Titan
see.
can kind of punch a skyscraper over, sort of thing, if it's getting in the way of his firing angles. This is the rulebook for Horus Heresy Legions Imperialis. The rulebook will come in that launch set that we've been showing off. It will also be available separately. So if you want to play Legions Imperialis, but you don't necessarily want the forces in that box, you can pick it up separately. Although the nature of Legions Imperialis means that you can mix in loads of different factions. So why would you not?
Indeed.
You could have a little bit of your favorite Space Marine Legion alongside whichever force you decide to go.
And that's it. Chances are, whatever force you are going to go for, you're probably going to
I like it, but it will be interesting to see what happens with that in
in
Heresy. Are they
just to
competing
kind of round
with
it out.
people?
So, the box is a good
Yeah,
show.
I think the small scale
Yeah.
works better. But
We will have lots and lots about Legions Imperialis on the Warhammer community website over the next few weeks. It is a whole game system that we're going to tell you all about. So in terms of the nuances of the rules and how that works, we'll be able to talk about that. There's a few questions I've seen pop up in the chat that we're going to just quickly be able to address. So there's a few questions there about the scope and scale of it. So this is a Horus Heresy themed game. So it's going to be based on kind of legions and knight households and traitor legions and titans, rather than being Warhammer 40,000 base game. It is heresy focused. You will see lots and lots of stuff that is part of the Horus Heresy show up in Legions Imperialis. So if you have a favorite unit, you know,
chances
are it will probably show up at some point in the not too distant
Yeah,
future.
it's going to be
It's
interesting.
going to be a very big thing for us over the next few months and years.
Yes, and as you've mentioned before, this is epic scale. So the idea is that we can recreate some of the massive battles from the Horus Heresy.
Yeah, absolutely. So like when you read about the Horus Heresy, there are some properly huge battles. So there's things like, you know, Istvan and the Siege of Terror,
hundreds of thousands,
Moloch and stuff like that. So absolutely, it's not like 20 Space Marines show up and have a fight. There are absolute legions, and the way that this game plays, we were talking a bit before this preview started. You're taking a whole chapters of Space Marines in a shooting phase.
Yeah.
So like 2 Warhound Titans march out, and you're like, that chapter there is gone. 100 Space Marines just removed in one volley, but it's okay because you brought 10,000 to the fight. So
that's it.
Cool. Well, that is Legions Imperialis, and that is our preview for today, guys. So thank you ever so much for joining us. Alex, anything you're particularly excited about for preview today?
Whilst Legions Imperialis is amazing, Talia on
so
that
I was
Manticore is just beautiful.
Okay, well, I'm going to choose. I'm excited about the Cruel Boys, so I'm going to buy some of those and paint them up and play some Warcry. I'm excited about that. But obviously, Legions Imperialis is a huge deal. Lots of other exciting things on the way for loads of different game systems. So if you're a fan of Warhammer Age of Sigmar or the Mortal Realms, there's loads of stuff on the way there. Horus Heresy is an exciting time, and there's more old world things on the way as well in the next few months we'll to tell you about too. So it's a really exciting time for Warhammer, even if you don't play Warhammer 40,000.
Indeed.
Cool. Well, all that remains is for me to say thank you ever so much for tuning in. Everybody who followed along at home, there are over 20,000 of you, so we appreciate your time. Thank you, Alex, for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Raf, for making sure all the tech
All right.
worked.
Well, that is that. I'm just going to take that off screen for a second. You can look at my pre-mug. All right, we'll bring this up. We're just going to have a look at Warhammer Community and check through some of the stuff we got revealed again. Have a quick little browse through it all. And especially good to have a second look at those Cruel Boys and stuff like that. So just give me a spec. Where am I? All right, so let's have a look at this. So let's just go have a look at the cities of Sigmar too. So that's our launch box there. And have a look. I like how some of these dudes are a little bit chubby, and it looks like you've got do we have female? Yeah, it looks like we've got a couple of women sculpts in there. And the knights we've seen. For all 54 units they can field. All right. All right. So we have elf orders. You can see pictured here. I mean, those curved swords to me very much say Scourge Privateers, do they not? Just looking at this here, that looks like Scourge Privateer symbol with the 2 crossed swords, surely. I'm going to have a look at that. I'm going to Can't zoom in on my computer as well as I can my phone. So we're going to go on the phone here for a quick and have a look at that picture. Yeah, you see the cutlass down there again. I think Scourge is staying in. Not quite sure what that symbol's supposed to be there. I mean, she is just amazing, though. Now we get a nice look. They don't really show her unhelmeted head version a lot, but I do like it. The one eye, the eye patch, and all that. She looks really, really cool. I haven't put up the thing for the Cruel Boys yet, though. Oh, we haven't got. I haven't put up the thing. Maybe it's in this one. Nope. See all the reveals. Yeah, no, they haven't put up the article for the Cruel Boys. Yeah. That's what I want to see. Give me my article for Cruel Boys. I haven't put a Warcry article up yet. I mean, it wasn't what I expected. I did not expect an awful lot from this. So yeah, it is what it is. What does everyone think of it? Probably head off because I've got some stuff I need to do. Yeah, I can't find the Cruel Boys article. It's not up. Maybe. There we go. Warcry. Here we go. Just found it. So there we go. So there's a missing mini they didn't show. The yellow dude. I mean, these look really, really cool. I love these. These are great. Is that a little... That looks like a little squig there. Like, sure, little squig eye. And then our evil monkeys. I mean, that look really, really cool. But that is everything. So I'm going to head off. Thank you all for coming, hanging, hobbying, checking all this out with us. I'm all in all pretty happy with what we saw from this. I'm pretty happy. Saw a lot of stuff I wanted to see personally. I think we'll see some more other things in the future soon for a bunch of these minis and games. So let us know your thoughts about it all. But thank you all for coming and joining us. We will be back with another live stream, hopefully later this week. I say that every week, and we continue to get sick. So hopefully I'm not sick, and hopefully we can get some more live streams happening more often to get all of you on here chatting and hobbying with us. So stay safe, everyone. Stay well. Most of all, keep fighting that war against the grey. If you'd like to help support the channel, we have Patreon, Ko-fi, Teespring stores. We can grab some merch and stuff like that all down below. Patreon, YouTube members to help support the channel. And all our sponsors and stuff linked down there where we help support the channel as well. So see you all again real soon.